Hi, thanks for joining me today. My name is Carrie Waltz and I share tips, tools, and techniques for the artist in you. I recently attended Pastel Live and I used gouache as my medium for taking notes. And I want to show you a couple of things I really enjoy about gouache. And maybe if you haven't tried it, you'll consider doing that. So stay tuned. I'm going to show you something that I'm going to do with this painting that I painted during the event and this one. You'll want to see. One of the things I like about gouache is that it reactivates when you want it to. This is watercolor paper that I painted with clear gesso to seal it because it was inexpensive watercolor paper and I didn't want to tear it up if I had to do what I'm about to do. I painted this dog in gouache on top of the clear gesso, and I really enjoyed how the gouache, when it was wet, kind of did some burst lines like watercolor does when you add it wetter here and it pushes into the other areas. But when I look at the shadows of this dog, I really want to soften them so they're not such hard edges. So with gouache, you can come back with just a damp brush, re-wet the area, blur out the edges, and soften it. Even with this, I can probably lift all the way down to most of the gouache up off the page if I wanted to. I don't want to in this case. I'm just softening some of the edges. I'm going to lift off just a little bit here to let the light follow the edge of his neck crease, and so you can see how that's lifting up. So that's one thing I just really like. I like the softer edges on the shadows, and I think that one's done. The other thing I love about working with gouache this way is if I want to add pastels, and these are new pastels, they're inexpensive, harder pastels, I can do that. And because it has the clear gesso over the watercolor paper, it has a slight grit to it. So if I want to soften some of the clouds or add some pinker tones in through here, soften this. I'm not even looking at the video, at the reference right now. I'm just adding some warmth to it in a softer way that I can even blur it in. And one thing that I really liked about the demo is he had this glow back here. Now his demo was in pastel, so that's one of the reasons why I'm adding the pastel. But just adding little bits of tiny bit of pastel to catch the glow. You can exaggerate the light as well. And if you have streaks coming through clouds, it's an easy way to add that. But I just find it's very freeing to be able to layer and do a variety of things with it. If I want to add more blue sky, I can pick up a blue and cut in with that. Anyway, I think it's fun. Can add some of the reflection of the clouds down in the dirt and add more texture to the dirt if you want. If you don't like it, you can lift it off even with a kneaded eraser. But I'm all right with that. I decided I wanted a darker red-orange back through here because it really does wipe out the green of the ground and helps it glow. So that the white that I'd put in there was a little too light. But yeah, I like the glow that I'm seeing now. Anyway, hope that helped, gave you some ideas, and you give it a try. I'll see you next week.